Welcome back to All This Math. This is Professor Parker. If you're here, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions about anything that I'm about to explain, as I explain it, please put your questions or your comments. If you got comments, put your comments in the comment section as well. And when the video is done, please share this with at least 2 people. All right. Shout out to Morgan State University, my alma mater, founded in 1867, the national treasure, historically black college. All right, located in Baltimore. And the business department, the Earl G. Graves School of Business, where I earned my degree many, many years ago. All right, so what are we doing today? Now, this is a video that is more geared toward, I want the young people to understand this, but this is more geared toward parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties, whoever, big cousins that want to actually help the youngins practice with math when you just out hanging out somewhere. Maybe you go to a restaurant. That's an opportunity to practice some math skills. All right. So we're doing some restaurant math. So what do I mean by that? This is some information that I took off a receipt that I got. I was out at like a carry out spot, not a like a carry out restaurant type place. I ordered a bunch of food. My subtotal was $47. Subtotal was $47. The sales tax was $2.82. Now the question is this valid? Now, a little bit of more information that's necessary. The sales tax, now I was in Baltimore, right? And Baltimore's in the state of Maryland, right? The sales tax rate in the state of Maryland is 6%. So in order for this to be valid, that would mean that $2.82 is in fact 6% of $47, right? If it's not, then something is off, all right? So if this is more than 6%, that means they got me, all right? Now, but this is a skill that I think we should have. This is a practice that we should do. We should verify the information that we get on receipts, right? It's a great way to practice math. It's a great way to practice our algebra skills, right? And it's also about, declaring agency over yourself as a consumer, right? Instead of just accepting everything that a business owner gives you or a business gives you, right? It's training the children to start to think like business owners and entrepreneurs, if that's something that you're interested in having them exposed to. So the question is, in order for this to be valid, is this valid? Is $2.82 in fact 6% of $47? All right, now let's think about it. Now we could grab a calculator, we could calculate 6% of $47 and see if that gives us $2.82. Or I'm gonna show you a mental math strategy. If I want to know 6% of any number, right? First thing I could do is I can find 1% of that number. Now, how do you find 1% of any number? In this case, $47. In order to find 1% of $47, you would divide 47 by 100, because 100% is the whole amount, which is $47. So if you break that 100% up into 1% pieces, that's 100 pieces. So basically, I'm taking 47 and I'm dividing it up into 100 pieces, or I'm dividing it by 100. The shortcut is just to take this decimal point right here and move it over 2 spaces. So that means 1% of $47. So we would say 1% equals 47 cents. Now, if 1% is 47 cents, now using some critical thinking, we can figure what 6% is. Because how do I go from 1% to 6%? Can I just multiply 1% by 6 to get 6%? You can. So this is like a proportion that I got set up, even though it don't look like it, right? I can also just multiply 47 cents by 6 to figure out what the 6% amount is. Now, the way I would do this is I would take the 47 cent and I would break it up into 2 parts, a 40-cent part and a 7-cent part, a 40-cent part and a 7-cent part. I take the 40-cent part, multiply it by 6. That gives me $2.40, because I know 4 times 6 is 24. So 40 cent times 6 is going to be $2.40. Then I take the 7-cent part and I'm going to do 7 cent times 6. 7 cent, nickel, 2 pennies, right? Nickel got the Thomas Jefferson slaveholder on there, right? We got to know our history. We got to know our history, right? All right. We got to know what we're dealing with. All right. So 7 cent times 6 is 42 cents. And look what we have here. Then we're going to add these $2 amounts up. So what's 240 plus 42 cents? $2.82. So that means that the answer to this question is that yes, this is valid. So we good. All right. But it's just something light you could do with the young people, the youngins, to help them develop their math skills and develop their confidence in math. When you end up constantly doing math just on regular situations, just in random situations, that helps the children to see that math is decent. Math is cool. Math is not something to be scared of. Because a lot of children go to school, they don't see math any other place, right? And a lot of us make the mistake of outsourcing totally their mathematics education to the school system. The school system is not equipped to do that, right? They're not equipped to do that. School is a great space for practicing the skills that we help our children and our young people develop when they with us, when we out at restaurants, when we hanging out, when we traveling, when we driving, when we riding the bus or the train, or we going places, or we going to the store, or whatever. There's so many opportunities around us. That's why you should grab a copy of my book. Oh, hold up. How could I forget? I talk about that in my book, How to Use All This Math, Volume 1. Volume 2 is coming soon, right? But I talk about this in my book. All these different ways that we can basically take the things that you're doing already in everyday life and they become math lessons. They become arithmetic lessons, algebra lessons, geometry lessons. So that way, when the children go to school, they're not scared of math because they're ready to just practice whatever the teacher puts on the board because they're already familiar and they got the prerequisite skills. Because when y'all was just hanging out, went to the restaurant, and then the waitress or the waiter brought the bill out, and you said, look, yo, do me a favor, youngin'. Calculate this for me. Make sure that this is actually 6% if you're in Baltimore. If you're in another state where it's a different sales tax amount, verify the information on the bill, right? It's just something light and something simple and straightforward that you could do for practice to develop math skills in our young people. All right, so that way they never end up being intimidated by mathematics. All right, so like I said, hit the like button if you didn't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Please, if you still got questions, that's cool. I welcome all questions. Put your questions in the comment section. Put your comments in the comment section. And share this video with at least 2 people, especially parents, grandparents, uncles, and aunts that be hanging out with young people, right? So this is something very basic that they can do. If you take somebody out to eat, every time you go out to eat, take a look at the receipt. The receipt is ripe with opportunities to practice math skills. All right. So don't fail to take advantage of that opportunity. All right. I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.